All of our lives, they have told us work hard, save money. Eventually, you'll get to the golden retirement age and you can go home and do exactly nothing if you want to do it. Another lie. We were misled, we were uninformed, we were ignorant. Because little did they tell us, Generation X, that our retirement was going to be different. The world was going to be different when we finally got to this mark. Yes, some of us started really late thinking about retirement. Some of us have been overly generous with helping every Tom, Dick, Harry, and family member that comes around needing assistance financially, etc., over the last 30, 40 years, always putting yourself last. But dad gummit, and in my mind I'm cussing, dad gummit, you deserve to retire with dignity. You have to stop supporting everybody else's bad choices who haven't set aside money for their own rainy day funds, etc., and putting yourself in peril, because now here we are, whether you've not intentionally saved for retirement or you kept draining those funds over the years to pay off debt because you had to put that boiler or that AC unit on a credit card. We've all made bad decisions. We have. So this is a jigger of Jen. I'm Jen. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff, but I'm a little passionate about this because Gen X has done a lot of phenomenal reinventions, but we are on the cusp of doing a legendary one that will leave the mark on this world bigger than anything else we ever have done. We reinvented music back in the day. Yes, the new wave music, the punk rock, etc. That was us. And here we are, women, men of a certain age, a little bit longer in the tooth, a lot more sunsets behind us than sunrises in front of us, but we're doing it again. Current reports show that Gen X is putting off retirement longer and longer and longer. Are we scared that we don't have enough? Well, yes, thank you, we are. We've never approached this point in life before. We're not exactly sure how long we're going to live, how much money we're going to need, what unforeseen events are going to happen. Our confidence is really low, but it's not because we're bad with money. It's not only because we may not have saved enough up to this point. It's because we think we're supposed to completely quit work, that our income production is going to evaporate. I got to tell you, it's not. You can keep working at something for as long as you want to or you need to. I do a lot of talking, and down in the description is the Master Your Money plan about basic budgeting. You have got to know what your current expenses are. Then you can figure out what your retirement expenses are going to be. How much do you need a month? You do not need a million bajillion dollars. No, you need what you need, not what I need, not what any of the talking heads need. You need exactly what you need a month, but you got to figure that out. So if that's something you've not been doing these past 30, 40 years, go down, get that free workbook, Master Your Money Plan. There's also another free workbook while you're down there, Life Experiences to Income. This will help you walk through what you've been doing for the past 30, 40 years and figure out if you've got some marketable skills, and you do, spoiler alert, so that you can figure out, yes, we're doing a lot of figuring out here because we need to, but so that you can then realize, hey, I got some skill sets. I was a stay-at-home mom. I can organize. I can project plan. I can event plan. I was a community volunteer. I was a full-time nurse, whatever. Teachers, tutoring, dog walking, all of us. Why not combine your physical fitness with loving the canines? That way, I don't necessarily have to go and get a whole pack of dogs because I can borrow everybody else's throughout the day and make a little change for my pocket and get some walks in. Life is our oyster. Moving forward, we can redesign it however we want to, but you got to know some basics. I don't want any of us thinking that Social Security is going to be our sole source of income. It was never meant to be a singular retirement vehicle. It was simply something in the 1930s that was created to keep the seniors from starving to death when they were too old and broken to go out and do the jobs that they'd been doing all of their lives, when There was no social programs whatsoever to help support them. And right after the Great Depression, I'm sorry, there was more poor people, more destitute people in our country than ever before. So all of the churches and charities, etc., were overwhelmed. If they themselves had any money, this is not a history lesson. This is just simply wake up. Social Security is not going to put you into the lap of luxury. You're still going to fall short every month. And we have spent decades making sure that we at least had enough to keep the roof over our head, shoes on us and our kids' feet, and dog food in the dog food bowl, and of course the cats. We won't forget the cats. But let's not go into this not even the last chapter, the next chapter of our life, dragging the anxiety with us. Now, some of us have not done the smartest moves when it comes to money, and that includes most of us have never done the step. Retirement Reality Reset Kit and the Retirement Calculator spreadsheet. You have to know your number before you can make any decisions about your future. You don't want to go to retirement and realize you can't afford it. Let's figure that out now and see what life is going to look like later. The big white elephant in the room, which is consumer debt. So Gen X is putting off retirement for another reason, and that is so they can keep working to pay off that debt, so you're not dragging those minimum payments that you won't pay off in this lifetime if you take them into retirement with you. So, Gen X, you don't have to retire cold turkey. You can do a glide down. Glide down's a real thing. Check with your company. Your company may offer a slowly tiered down exit over a period of years. It helps them out with transitioning all of that knowledge that you have in a methodical way so that you can train your replacements. They can catalog whatever they need to do. You keep benefits up to a point. I'm sure you'll hit a threshold on less hours to where the benefits are not as subsidized by your company, but that's another big expense before 65 is the health insurance cost. So if you have that with your company, check with them. Can I do a tiered step down into my retirement? Another way, quiet quit. What does that mean, Jen? Well, that means you're doing this plan, you're figuring out what you need, you're paying off your debt, you're building up your cash pile, and you can slowly start saying no to this extra project or this, etc., because your focus is on your personal plan. You're still doing a great job. You're doing the job they hired you to do. You're just not taking on anything extra. And once you reach your own personal goals of what it takes for you to walk or to walk into the next chapter of your life with a side hustle that you began to build during your quiet exit, that's a real thing. Go and get that life experiences to income workbook. But once you do that, then you're on the road and you can quietly say, this is it, goodbye, I'm leaving, here's my 2-week notice. And I do encourage you, I don't care how frustrated you are, and the fact that this is your last job and you don't need them for a reference does not mean you want to leave in a dramatic huff. No, give them the 2 weeks. They may choose not to accept it. They may ask you for additional time because this surprises them, blind people. But you definitely want to be true to yourself and honor those that went before you that taught you your work ethic. And I'm talking about your parents and your grandparents. What do you need to do as this last stand to make them proud? Okay, that's a good karma thought for the day. I don't care how mad we are at our employers. We can't just walk out on them. Another approach from the glide down to the quiet exit is the semi-retirement, which is kind of the buzzword for all these decades, but we're calling it the, oh my goodness, menopause moment. Hybrid, that's what we're calling it. We're calling it the hybrid retirement. Which is the classic semi-retirement. You can continue working for someone part-time, usually for the benefits, and to close the gap between what you have and what you need. When you crunch your numbers for what you need in retirement, part of that equation is going to be your Social Security amount Because yes, although it's not going to fund everything, it is a income source. So you want to go to the Social Security website and figure out what your anticipated check is going to be based on when you receive it. You can get it as early as 62. You can put it off until 70. And every month you delay, it's a little bit more and a little bit more. I used to think I was going to take it at 62. By goodness, I'm going to take it. It may not be there when I'm 70. I've crunched the numbers 9 ways to Sunday, and I've decided to push it off for a while. I can survive with my side hustles and my cash fund and what I have on hand with managing my budget and limiting the expenses, the extravagances, etc., so that if I delay it, I'm actually set up better throughout my or throughout the rest of my years, and I'm going to live to at least 93. That's what I've got in my little calculator there. If you want to do something more sophisticated than a back of a notebook, piece of paper, or a back of an envelope, I really encourage you to go check out Bolden. This is an online cloud-based product that does have a free version, which is very limited, but it'll get you started. I am not currently an affiliate. I do not receive any money if you go and check this out, but I do know it's what my husband and I both use, and it's confidence building, because when we do the numbers ourselves, we're not building in the cost of living increases, et cetera, et cetera. That's way too much math for my girl brain. But I can plug it into this software, it does the numbers, and it shows me a confidence score. I haven't 100% married. That's so accurate. No, but I'm getting closer. The more I look at it, the more I slice and dice it. And it's a nominal cost per year if you decide to upgrade from the free version. But go check out the free version, Bolden, Bolden. All right, so I'm Jen. That has been my Jigger of Jen for this week, or for today. I don't know. I could have another one in me. We'll have to see. I appreciate you stopping by. I can't wait to see you again. I usually post on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and these Jigger of Jens I just toss out there because I got to get something off my chest. Like, share, subscribe. Send this to somebody who needs to see it. I'll see you soon. Stop recording.